streets, they never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Jop, that's my brother, you know we moving tax. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick shit, it's how we music, nigga. Go.
Yo, top of the top, the hustle don't stop. It's your boy, Big Dice the Ruler. Been outside since we was drinking Calvin Coolers. I've been outside since we was drinking Calvin Coolers. And those of y'all that be trying to act like y'all don't know what Calvin Coolers is, all y'all in here, oh, these is Calvin Coolers. I've been outside that long, you dig it? Big Dice the Ruler been outside since we was drinking Calvin Coolers. Don't try to act like y'all don't know what this poster is and this drink is. This is the Bottles and James era. This is the Kanai era. This is the, you know, Harvey's Bristol's Cream era. This is the Bailey's era. This is the Bottles and James area. I know. I'm telling too much. I'm telling too much. Yo, I see y'all in the building, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling in the building. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, somebody, anybody but a dead body, hit me with some dice cubes. First, I want to go over this great show we had this morning. Hit me with the dice cubes if y'all can hear me crystal clear. If I can shout out everybody that's in the building, everybody that typed so far, do me a favor, share out this live. You dig? Grown folk shit. Appreciate you, RC Deuce. My man hit me with the dice cubes. I was just, let me tell y'all something. Yo, RC, you got your wrench. Mr. I think for myself, y'all got y'all wrenches. Like, all jokes aside, y'all two brothers, RC Deuce, Mr. I think for myself, y'all got y'all wrenches. Drop your links in here. My man RC Deuce is in his own vibe. If y'all not subscribed to him, he be having the puzzles to see if you can tell the difference between the same identical puzzle, but it's always slight differences that you can check out. So let me shout everybody out this motherfucker right quick, because, I like to do that. RC Deuce was the first one in the building. You dig what I'm saying? I see you in the building. East New York, the sis was in the building. I'm a big, matter of fact, remind me to big up East New York about something too, y'all. I got to big her up. Fuck that. See, we don't acknowledge the real shit, but over here we do. You dig what I'm saying? My man Sir Valentino's in the building. I see you, beloved. I see you. My man Hoodie's up. He's in the building. Appreciate that phone call too, bro. See, that's another thing. We're going to talk about some other things. Like I said, they always congratulate with you with the bullshit, but it's a few people that come up and speak about the live shit. Real live shit. You know what I'm saying? Mr. I think for myself. I see you in the building. My sister Annette is in the building. She always going to hold it down. You dig what I'm saying? My man Artist is in the building. The little big bro is in the building. That's the little big bro. That's the little big bro. If y'all understand, that's the little big bro. You know why he the little big bro? Because Artist outside. My old ass is damn near in a nursing home. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't got no time for it. So if I can keep my ears to the street with the little big bros, that's what we gonna do. My man, Mr. Jake Decimini, he said, what up, baby? Brooklyn all day. He said, I'm subscribed. I've been seeing you pull up. Appreciate you. Grown folks conversation over here. Grown folks conversation. Who else we got in the building, man? Let me see who we got up in the building. Mr. I think for myself. We got artists. We got everybody. Let me see. Hoodies up. We shouted everybody out. Let me make sure I got everybody in the building because I got a good one lined up for y'all. She said, I tried to drop my link, but it seems like it's not showing. You know why? Because you're not doing it right. Doo-doo head. You're not doing it right. Can you dig it? You're not doing it right. But don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it dropped in. But RC Deuce, he in his own lane. Those of y'all that know how to drop the links, do me a favor and drop East New York for me. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to Artist Morrison. I don't give a fuck what nobody say the GOAT. I'm gonna give it to him. Big Dice stamp that shit. I'm not saying it because he's in the building. I just, when it come to artists, he's had the most shows, y'all. He's had the most shows. Whether they rocked or dropped, he had the most shows. And he said something the other night. I'm in the cut. I watched him. He said he was the first one out to give out the awards. Artist was the first one to do the award show. The first, I don't care what, y'all can say what y'all want to say. I'm gonna always tell y'all. I'm not saying it because Team Guardian stood strong in both of them. We took the first one, but that was a hell of a motherfucking idea. Shout out to Behind the Bar too. I ain't taking no shots at nobody. Behind the Bar also said that he had an award show. I never saw it. You know what I'm saying? I came in after a lot of things that went down when people already had made their things, but from what I'm saying, that motherfucking YouTube awards is fire. I really think artists should continue that shit, you know what I'm saying? And enjoy your new home and your family. Just do me a favor. Don't be showing nobody your new home. Fuck that. Fuck these people. You know what I'm saying? That's for people that really care about you and your family. Because the slightest thing these people see on you, the slightest thing these people see on this app, it's hell for the strangest ammunition. You dig what I'm saying? And before with my man address getting doxxed, even though artists don't give a fuck, it's still wrong. We shouldn't be playing with people's addresses. Like, all jokes aside, but you know what? I'm not Dirty Sector. I appreciate everybody that supports the fact that I'm not Dirty Sector. Shout out to the whole Dirty Sector, y'all. But I'm not Dirty Sector. You dig what I'm saying? I'm so proud of the show that we had earlier. I don't know if y'all was here. Whoever was here, y'all was here. The ones that did not, want y'all to check it out on the replay. We had two friends, Dog Soldier and Net Stars. Dog Soldier introduced me to Net Stars. And somewhere over the line, they friendship strayed away. Word up, straight away. Some YouTube shit. Hoodies, drop your link too, nigga. Hoodies taking it over with the fucking comedy. Drop your link, nigga. You know what I'm saying? For real. Hoodies, let me tell you something. I told Hoodies this before too. Fuck what these niggas is talking about on YouTube. Say it to him just like I said on the phone. I tell him right now. Fuck these niggas and what they talking about on YouTube. That nigga got fucking comedy over there, man. That uncle and nephew shit, that shit is official, man. Yo, Frank Boo, I see you in the building too. I heard you reading last night, beloved, with TT. Shout out to TT the Oracle, man. She saved me for last, but she definitely has some things on pinpoint. But if y'all didn't see the show earlier, we had two friends. Dog Soldier, Net Stars. Both of these individuals had reached out to me in the background for months. Let me tell you how this YouTube shit. For months, they have both reached out to me because they felt as though over here, they could have a conversation without it, you know what I'm saying, being bombarded by a bunch of people in the chat and they want to come to the stage and just want to make shit more and more hectic. So I appreciate both of the brothers for entrusting in me to hold that together, because diplomacy is needed. We wasn't taught diplomacy. We heard about diplomatic affairs and diplomacy. We watched that with politicians and stuff like that. But politics twinkles down to our hoods also. Diplomacy is when two people express what they feel, express what they stand for, and express what they believe in. Misunderstandings sometimes erupt because of people's beliefs. The Most High made both of them gentlemen reach out to me. Dog got on his, tried to reach out. Unfortunately, they went their ways. They had a little misunderstanding. They both started shooting at each other. But I told both of the gentlemen, from this day forth, if we got two people that's coming together for resolution, whatever happened before this, We not worried about, ain't nobody get stabbed. Ain't nobody shed no blood. Ain't nobody went to jail. Ain't nobody was physically harmed. Few things were spewed across this internet. You know, they got this thing. They got this thing now where, you know, where people just want to say what they want to say on YouTube, disregards the repercussions or the effects that it may have on other people. Me, I'm trying to work on that with them myself. Shout out to East New York, because earlier, for me to be able to mediate two friends, guy, I see you in the building. If I can see two friends that are going through a misunderstanding and I can help them to somewhat correct their misunderstanding, I should be able to speak up with one of my friends. And then East New York, shout out to East New York. She said, yo, Dice, let me ask you something. She said, I ain't trying to jump in nobody's business. That's when I knew it was sincere. She said, I'm not trying to jump in nobody's business, but do you think that you and Craigo could work that shit out? You know why I respect her for that? Because I say this to anybody that's listening. The situation with my nigga Craigo, that's different, and it bothers me so much to this day. But this is what we got to pay attention to, what comes on YouTube. I'm not better than anyone. Emotions sometimes overtake, especially when you got a real history with somebody. But when it comes to YouTube, sometimes people that are seeming or appearing to be in your best interest are just trying to ignite and line you up to go to war. So when she said that to me, it's always been on my mind. Like I said, that's my brother. You dig what I'm saying? I wouldn't let nothing happen to him. Even if me and him was to scrap or get mad at each other, no, I wouldn't never allow anything to happen to him. I would never send anybody to do anything to him. And I hope that he would not do that to me. Our misunderstandings came from things that should not have been said to each other at all. But on YouTube, that's both sides have feelings. That's a fact. That's a fact. You see, Annette said that's something y'all should deal with off YouTube. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I also said that if me and him ever got to the chance where we was comfortable enough to have a diplomatic conversation, you dig what I'm saying? A diplomatic conversation where maybe someone else could mediate for the better outcome, not for the siding or trying to be cool with me or cool with him. See, resolution is the answer to everything, but it has to be pure from your heart. You can't say you want to change something and then get up and do the same thing. That's why I hope them two brothers, Dog Soldier and Net Stars, really talk to each other off the scenes, because it took, even both of them had their bumpy moments. You dig what I'm saying? That's why when I've heard both of them tone and temperament changing towards each other, you see, I threw the music break in right quick. Not trying to disregard either one of them or what they were speaking about, but I just wanted to kind of calm the situation down and then have them come back and talk to each other and see how it turned out to the best. So I hope that them brothers continue to work on their friendship, because unfortunately, man, this social media, it's not just YouTube. It's not just YouTube. Social media is different. Word up. That's a fact. And that's another thing, like Annette in East New York was saying, you know, that's one of the reasons why I said whatever the Most High had for us to do, we would do, because it's so much people that's on this app for just false content. Certain things people should not be playing with, especially friendships, especially family. You understand what I'm saying to you? But you know what? My prayers is in the best towards that situation. Like I've always said, that's my brother, and he's always going to be my brother, whether we eye to eye or not. I'm not going to let YouTube do that. They can't do that to me. But let's get to some motherfucking content, because I got some things to talk about. And shout out to KT, a.k.a. Holla at Your Boy. He did something the other night that we didn't get a chance to dab at. And that's feelings pertaining to men, or things that men feel as though they're going through, that are somewhat ignored or not really paid attention to until it affects the feelings of a woman. We're going to get into that later on tonight. But we got a couple of things I want to get into, because a lot of people didn't really pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes, especially with these two gentlemen right here. especially with these two gentlemen right here. They've been running around saying that Donald Trump is considering giving P. Diddy a pardon for his actions. But then we are hearing Donald Trump respond to those allegations. Beginning of the week, we heard that P. Diddy would be home no later than tomorrow, Friday. This is the day of days. We're going to find out tomorrow if he's going to be, let go or he's going to be annoyed. Frank Booth said, nah, fam, we must mediate if we have the ability to do so, just for the preservation of real men, who they are now the minority. Yeah, we are the minority now. That's a cold-blooded fact. We got to mediate the shit now. We got to mediate it. It's a cold-blooded fact because if you don't mediate, it escalates. It escalates and it overrides. And when like Frank Booth said, I got to take that down. When Frank Booth said, when it come to real men, like men, I'm not talking about men I'm talking about when it comes to real men, morals, integrity, held in accountability, loving individuals, family men, protectors of all time. It's something totally different right now going on. But how many of y'all think tomorrow Puff coming home? Can I just ask y'all right quick? Because if it was just about Angie, baby, is in the building. Yo, Angie, let me ask you something. You think Puff coming home tomorrow? Yo, Ron BX, I see you, big 050 shit. I see you in the building, beloved. Ron, what about you? Y'all think, let me ask you something. Y'all think Puff coming home tomorrow? They said tomorrow's the day he's supposed to come home. They said tomorrow's the day that Donald Trump is allegedly supposed to give him his pardon. But Donald Trump just said something that I don't know if y'all heard. Did anybody hear what Donald Trump said in response to that? Anybody before I speak about it? East New York said, I don't think so. Trump is going to pardon him. We know you're East. We know you're a Diddy fan. We ain't worried about you. We know you ain't playing when it comes to Diddy. We know that. We know that. She said, I don't think Trump is going to pardon him. But see, this is what Trump is saying. This is the crazy part. Ron said, yeah, he was telling dudes he was going to pardon Diddy. But check what he said now, Ron. Check what he said now. He said, yo, check this out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to grant his pardon. Y'all can look it up if y'all think I'm just jiving. Donald Trump said because of politics, he's not sure if he's going to be able to pardon Puff Daddy. Now, let's be fair. For everybody in here right now, tell me who feels as though he should be home. Let's be fair. Anybody in here that feels as though he should come home, put the dice cubes up. That's a cold-blooded fact. He pardoned killers. I tell people they may think I'm joking, like niggas be thinking I be joking, but it's certain things I just can't joke about. Donald Trump pardoned one of the legends from my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? One of the legends from my neighborhood. His name is Louis Hobbs. This is cold-blooded facts. You know, how I feel about Lou or how other people may feel about Lou is something totally different, but quote unquote, we know people that made that pardon list. I think somebody that should have been on that pardon list that's a fact, East New York, Lou. That's a cold-blooded fact. I know somebody, a woman that I felt as though should have been on that motherfucking pardon list a long time ago. If y'all remember the situation, like Frank Booth said, a raw deal with Miss Sandra Rucker. I don't know if y'all remember about Miss Sandra Rucker from Virginia. Frank Booth is right. I said the same thing. For what he was accused of, he was not convicted of. What Puff was accused of as far as the three major charges that could have gave him possibly the rest of his life in jail, he was not convicted. That's a fact. Free Sandra Rucker. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. See, when it comes to sex crimes, see, when it comes to sex crimes, pay attention. Mr. Harvey Epstein, excuse me. If all it took was a signature from a president for him to be pardoned, how come did he allegedly die in jail? Ron said, yo, free the man. He was just being a freaking private. Now, the situation that we all unfortunately had the sorrow to see with him in the situation with Cassie in the hallway, I'm going to keep it funky with you, yo. Nah, that shit wasn't cool. But I'm going to also be as straight up as I can be. When we came up, domestic violence was not a charge. Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. When we were coming up as children, when we saw our aunts and our uncles and our fathers and our mothers and our grandfathers and our grandparents and our sisters and their boyfriends and our brothers and their sisters and their girlfriends, when we seen them fight, we didn't know anything about domestic violence. Domestic violence was not really brought to the forefront to America until the situation with, but rest in peace, Mrs. Nicole Simpson, the situation with O.J. Simpson. You wasn't hearing nothing about domestic violence. You wasn't hearing nothing about no domestic violence. Annette said, yo, nah, I'm sorry, I can't agree with the perjury to agree Diddy needs to be held accountable for his actions. Diddy needs professional help, and in there he'll get it. Now, you know, this is what I said, Annette. This is what I said. I said, let him out of jail. I said, let Diddy out of jail. I say, let him out of jail. But there's a stipulation of him. I said, let him out of jail. He has to willingly go to counseling. He has to willingly go to drug abuse counseling. He has to willingly go to domestic violence counseling. As far as him still being in prison, no, I think he should have been let go the day that he beat the most serious charges. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. The situation with him and Miss Cassie in the hallway, okay, let's say it. He drug her in the hallway. It's no allegedly. He beat her in the hallway. It's no allegedly. Get a man 6 months. Get a man 6 months. Get a man 90 days and get a man some mental help. Because we have to take into count that the fact that when Diddy was raised, we seen the documentaries, we hear what his friends said, we hear what his parents said, we hear with friends of his parents, we hear what the great Dapper Dan said, that he was exposed to a lifestyle that a child should have never been exposed to. He was exposed to a lifestyle of prostitution, homosexuality, drugs, domestic violence. 1-2 Freddie, I see you in the building. You name it, Puff Daddy was exposed to it before he was 5 years old. Then we have to take into effect that his father, unfortunately, may he rest in peace, his father was unalive. And through the words of the street, his father was unalive by his own friends because of his so-called involvement, allegedly, with police. Allegedly with police. Your dog soldier, I see you in the building. Salute. Shout out to you and Net Stars for pulling up earlier. Grown folks conversation. Like I said, the seed has been planted. Now it's up to y'all to make sure that that plant grow. And shout out to another thing too. I'm Dad Dog pulled up. Shout out to Phoenix Blaze. I wanted to publicly say this. Shout out to Phoenix Blaze. Phoenix Blaze pulled up earlier. and she had something to say, and her voice is heard and her voice is respected over here. When Dog and Net was going through their situation, I felt as though that certain temperaments between them had escalated. So I made an executive decision at that particular time to just let the sister Phoenix Blaze calm down, for she wouldn't come on the stage and kind of disrupt what two brothers was talking about. That has nothing to do with me feeling as though somebody's a woman's word is not important. No, I'm not with that. That's that prehistoric bullshit. No, I appreciate every intelligent woman that God has put in my life and surrounds me to this day, to the family that's in here. No, 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 no. Your voice over here is so important to me. You dig what I'm saying? Whether you have a podcast or not, whether we just friends, nah, your voice is important, and do not change the way y'all do it, because if y'all didn't, I wouldn't understand when I was wrong certain times when I knew I was wrong. See, sometimes you got to have the startup kit with somebody that care about you, be like, yo, you fucking up. So I hope them brothers get over that. Miss Phoenix, I hope, and she's welcome over here anytime to get up here and talk and speak about anything. But I hope that they can hash that out. I hope that they can hash that out. Yeah, he called us some things. She said some things to him. You know what I'm saying? You know how y'all women are. I'm not going against y'all in any way. The word bitch with y'all and certain slander can make y'all upset. You understand what I'm saying to you? But if we're gonna, that's why I haven't took my shahada yet. If we're gonna move forward, we're gonna have to move forward and not look back. The reason why I have not took my shahada yet, the reason why I have not took my shahada yet, because when you take your shahada in front of Allah, all your sins are forgiven. All your sins are forgiven, but you cannot repeat your sin. So it's just like when my grandmother decided to get saved. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? She decided to get saved in Christianity because that's something she so wholeheartedly believed in, and she exemplified that way of life every single moment that she had breath in her ear. So I would feel like a sucker, you dig, if I go and take my shahada and then automatically fall back into the same bullshit I've asked Allah to forgive me for. See, I'm not gonna play with nothing like that, because I know the wrath of God. I know the wrath of the Most High. I don't care about what no human is talking about. That's why when people be saying, Dice, why you keep wanting to push the peace and yo, this the dirty sector. Those type of people, I just pray for them. Because why don't you want peace? Hey, Nene, she in the building. Think about it, y'all. Why don't we need, if we got a whole host of people that's just constantly throwing out hatred, we're gonna have to start balancing it up. Me personally, from things I've seen, from friends I've lost, from things I've seen friends go through, things I've been through, nah, we need more and more peace. And like I said, when you look from the outside in at what's going on, a misunderstanding is a misunderstanding, but malicious intent is dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. You dig what I'm saying? So if I can be involved with two people that got a respect for me, calming down just because they're around me to clear up something, that's alhamdulillah. Bismillah. That's the most, one of the most beautiful things that I could possess. Because I'm tired of hearing people getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of hearing people going through shit. But what y'all was a part of today is, for the first time, you heard adults on the stage have a misunderstanding and practice sincere diplomacy instead of screaming on each other and disrespecting each other like we weirdos or something. You dig what I'm saying? Frank Booth said, "Speak, King," because everything else is, of course, brought up in this shit, and that's what's going on the prevalent way across the United States of America. Just aren't enough of the Diddy statues. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I'm not saying that Diddy is just like everybody else. I'm saying he's a fucking human being. That's all. The situation with R. Kelly, I've said it with R. Kelly. R. Kelly should have got him some help. You know what? And I was thinking about that. That would be a hell of a segment. Shout out to Miss Tanja in East New York for saying that. That would be a hell of a segment. Maybe it's certain people that's on this app that got problems with people, but feel as though they can't go nowhere and resolve the problem without people. See the energy from the chat is what helped that show earlier also. Whether y'all understand it or not. The energy from the chat is what made that show such a successful show earlier, because if you pay attention, when NetStars came over here, he said it just bugged him out how everybody still, salute. How you doing, bro? Like, we glad you here. Certain things make people paranoid when they go in the chat on a stage and try to have a conversation with somebody. I'm talking about adults. I'm not talking about kids. And then they have to worry about people in the chat disrespecting each other or disrespecting them. Nah, that shit could be very, very stressful. Very, very stressful. Very, very stressful. So shout out to them two guys. You dig what I'm saying? And maybe some people in the future might want to handle it out. Well, before I get into this last part, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. This beautiful couple right here. Anybody paying attention to what's happening with them? Anybody heard about the new situation going on with Miss Cardi B and Mr. Stephon Diggs? My man RC do say, there's a lot of drama going on with them, because you know what a lot of people fail to realize? They pick the same person in a relationship. Every time you break up with somebody and you get into a new relationship, whether it's a man or woman, you pick a better version of the person you are no longer with. You may not want to hear what I'm saying to y'all. You may not hear about what the boy want to say to y'all. But you're looking for a better version of the person that you are no longer with. Simple and plain. Now, for example, Cardi B. She's married to the rapper Offset. That's a fact, Annette. She said, I can honestly say she moved on too quick. But you see, let me tell you something. Think about where we from, man. Think about where we from. You see what Frank Booth said, energy travels at 196,000 miles per second. Let us keep pushing positivity, because it will travel. See? And it'll travel louder than a group of motherfucking negative shit to travel also. That's just like Cardi B. Pay attention. She wanted, before she decided to deal with somebody, she said she's going to get with somebody that financially, if something was to go wrong with her and her children, who'll be, I guess, financially straight. Stephon Diggs, football player, getting a lot of big money. She's in a bad divorce with her husband. Everything Stephon is, Offset is. Young charismatic man, or young black charismatic millionaire that's in the entertainment. And that's what they said is like a heartthrob. But see, this is what she didn't know. He has another baby on the way. This is my man right here on a private island. This Mr. Stephon Diggs with his soon-to-be mother of his child on a private island. And who do you see down in the bottom? Because she went on this rant on YouTube about how niggas ain't shit and this and that and this and this and this and that and this and this and this and that and this and this, and you know niggas wasn't shit, so why did you pick them? Why did you pick him? Why did you pick the same man? Why did you pick the same man? You know why? Because unfortunately, y'all, I said this to my nigga hoodies earlier. A lot of relationships today are for benefits, not for love. A lot of relationships today are beneficial on both sides, not just for the women. Not just for the women. RC do say, yo, she goes on too many rants and stuff for me. I don't like that type of shit. See, you got to overstand. See, now this is what we fail to realize again, that we just happen to put to the back of our head when we meet certain people, men and women. I'm not talking about just men meeting women, and I'm not just talking about women meeting men. We happen to put a bunch of the red flags that we would have never dealt with, that we saw our friends do and go through, but we put that to the back because of love. Think about that. You see what Dog said? That man put her in a castle for Cardi, private island for her, and how many kids? He'll be broke soon. See, that's a fact. I seen that on TV. I seen that. That nigga that nigga bought an island with a moat and all that shit. But see, first of all, let me explain something to you, man. No disrespect. Shout out to Cardi B, man. Cardi B is not from Indianapolis. Cardi B is not from Sumter, South Carolina. Cardi B is not from Dallas, Texas. She's not from London. She's not from Europe. She's not from Louisiana. She's from the Bronx. She's from New York City. She's from New York City, and she didn't have the regular lifestyle growing up. She let everybody know she was into prostitution. She was into escorting. She was into stripping. Let's pay attention, because this is just not one-sided. Before Offset met Cardi B, in my opinion, before they let that industry just put them two different entities together, before Offset met Cardi B, we all had the same description of Cardi B. She could rap. She's allegedly a blood member. Shout out to Star Brim. She's supposedly close friends with her. She used to dance. She used to escort. And she was into prostitution. That's a hell of a resume to walk into a relationship with trying to be a wife. Now, I'm going to be real right now to all the fellas in the chat right now. I'm not saying that if you met a woman and you fell in love with her and you didn't know her upbringing. Let's be real. Let's be real. You don't know her upbringing. She just moved to Brooklyn. She just moved to DC. She just moved to Virginia. She just moved to NC. You met her. You digging her style. You digging the presentation of herself that she's showing you. And ladies, you digging the presentation of himself that he's showing you. But my fellas, like when you find out that this woman that you fell in love with, and you telling yourself, this is wifey. This is the one that I'm going to be with. She's going to have my children. I'm going to help her raise her children. And then you find out that she was into doing escorts. You find out that she was stripping. We ain't talking about exotic dancing, because exotic dancing and stripping is two different things. In an exotic dancing club, you're not allowed to touch the women. Let's get that straight. When it comes to a real exotic nightclub, a not exotic dancing nightclub, you are not allowed to touch the women. But when you're in a strip club, you can damn near do whatever you want. You can touch her, grab her on the ass, grab her chest, pull a thong, put all this type of. You can't do that in no real establishment. That'll get you thrown out the spot. Now, what man wants to know his woman was into prostitution? What man wants to know his woman was into stripping? What man wants to know that his woman was into doing male and female escorts for money? Not me. I ain't gonna front. Certain shit you just shouldn't have told me. That's just gonna cut the whole. And I don't give a fuck if we was in love we just went to see Forrest Gump. You know, I just bought you a box of chocolates. We was holding hands all the way from the movies and back. The minute you say, yo, babe, let me talk to you about something, I'm like, yo, what's up? And you like, yo, well, you know, I used to be a prostitute. I used to do male and female escorts for money, and I was a stripper. See, because pay attention. The reason why Offset took on that responsibility and the backlash and the problems that may come back from dating a woman like that is because he from the hood. See, y'all, let me give you some work right quick. Frank Boo said, hold on, let me see what Frank Boo, he said, nah, Dice, that's sucker for love. He said, that's sucker for love shit. Real men or women street or not take the time to court and do homework before giving titles. That's a fact. That's a fact. They will not take the time, but we talking about a nigga in the rap industry from Atlanta, Georgia, that ain't never had nothing. And we're talking about a young lady that comes from the Bronx that had a hard upbringing. Pay attention. Stephon Diggs, this nigga come from a good household. He went to the good high schools, the good colleges. This man was prone. This was his destiny to be in the NFL. Now you see what got him around Cardi B? The fantasy. The fantasy. The fantasy. Oh, snap. Yo, that's Cardi B. Yo, she a rapper. She beautiful. She bad. Yeah. The same thing that happened when she caught up with Offset. Because just like Offset was starstruck with her, she was starstruck with Offset. Because they both come from the same similar backgrounds. But see, when she found Mr. Stephon Diggs, remember, she been going through problems with him, with other women when they first started dealing with each other. And they said, allegedly, this is the reason why she's pregnant now, because she wanted to claim her spot with Mr. Stephon Diggs. Oh yeah, you know, it's women that's like that. She wanted to claim her spot. She wanted to be the number one for him. But this right here is real shattering. Word up. Bozos with bread and no head, and vice versa. Women with no morale, no sense, and no correct upbringing that feel as though their vagina is their exit. Their vagina and their body or their looks is going to be good enough for them for the rest of their life. I got a cousin, I tell her all the time, one day you're going to look like Carol Burnett. She say, boy, you crazy. I be telling my cousin this, one day you're going to look like Carol Burnett. My cousin always told me, she said, yo, them niggas know what it is that I'm fucking with. They know what it is. They know it ain't nothing like that. How many niggas are you going to go through a relationship with or spend time with or allow them to be with you knowing that you have no intention of being in their life? I told my cousin, that's modern day prostitution. And she responded, that shit pay the bills. Y'all heard what they say. Prostitution is the Constitution. And after this break right here, we're going to get into this conversation about how come men's feelings. And anybody can hit the chat. Ladies, y'all can pull up here too. We want to know how come men's feelings are not heard or concerned about until it affects women's feelings. Let's go.
The streets ain't never loved me. The streets ain't never loved me.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, and he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds be cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. Hold these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading their clothes on the Poshmark. Swiss baby, careful with this. I mean this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bound to put your car on skates. You think you sliding through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
I got a question for the women. I got a question for the women. If y'all agree with me, man, let me see some dice cubes. I got a question for the women. How come most of the time, I'm not going to say all of the time. No, I can't say that. The reason why I can't say that, because there are some women that are very concerned about how they men feel, what's going on in their lives. Do simple things like checking on them to make sure that their mental is intact. There's still women like that. But how come it seems like the majority of women, when it comes to your man's feelings or how your man feels about something or perceives something, it's overlooked. It's not even a concern. But when your man actions, I'm not pushing men out of this, when our actions as men may help grow certain trees that have been planted in the minds of women. Because, for instance, for example, you could be saying to yourself that your man is cheating because he came home late 2 nights. But a lot of women, instead of saying, let me ask him what's going on, you're automatically going to just put it in your brain and then get in observant mood. Observant mode, meaning now you want to continue to watch everything your man does. Cool, no problem. You could have just said, is something wrong? Somebody else has your mind. Are you interested? No, you don't. But say, for instance, your man comes home late another night. Now, from what you're thinking about that second night that he came home late, he still has to deal with what you're thinking about from the first 2 nights that he came home late. So that's all combined on top of one, piled up, piled up, piled up, piled up. And what I'm trying to say, long story short, women build up their thoughts. Women build up their thoughts in their mind, have conversations, hold judge and court in their mind without having a conversation with their men, and they decide to cut off how they feel. Why is that? Why does it take for most women, when they feel as though they have been hurt, it all boils into hurt, disrespected, cheated on, spoke to heavily, aggressively, misunderstood, unappreciated, hurt. Let's just say hurt. Hey, baby, I see you in the building. Keisha's here. And I'm going to say it again. All women aren't like this, but how come, for instance, if your man comes home and says to you, yo, check this out. I don't want to be with you no more. How come when it comes to a man saying, yo, I don't want to be with you no more? A lot of women have this thing in their mind Nigga, you crazy. You ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't over till I say it's over. Ladies, have you ever said that? Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that? This shit ain't over till I say it's over. This makes me go back to my question. How come men's feelings aren't important to some women until it affects y'all feelings? When a woman says, you know what, I'm not with you no more, that means it's over. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. Right or wrong? Keith said, I've heard it, but I've not said it. East New York said they think differently. That's why I say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. But this is what I've noticed. How come men, when we choose you as our women, not all men, I'm speaking of some men, I'm talking about men, ladies, I'm not talking about little boys. How come when a man chooses his woman, he chooses her unconditionally? How come when a man chooses his woman, especially in the hood, he chooses her unconditionally? I grew up seeing people in relationships cheat on each other. I grew up seeing people in relationships fight each other. I grew up seeing people that thought the only way you can prove to your spouse, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend is if you fight for them. If you physically have a physical altercation. I've heard dudes say, well, I know my baby moms love me the way she fought such and such. And then females will say, well, I know that nigga loved me. You see how he fought such and such? We was raised watching toxic relationships. That's why I think we all choose the same person, but a better version when we find somebody else that we want to be with. Because it seems like when we disconnect from the people we're in a relationship with, men, we disconnect when it comes to disrespect. I've heard some women say they disconnect when they feel as though it comes to a lack of communication. Pay attention. Men, they get upset when it comes to being disrespected. Simple things. Women, well, he don't talk to me. Flat power guard, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. But how come when men do open up and try to communicate, it's not taken highly? It seems like with some people, it's not taken to be reckoned with. Like some people just hear you say it or feel as though that you're complaining and be like, you'll get over it. Why is that? Anybody tell me that one? To the ladies, can anybody tell me how come y'all can have a conversation with yourselves in your mind and a conversation with your females, your friends, your sisters, your cousins? That could be very dangerous too. I've learned when it comes to relationships, women have a very stronger and tighter support system. The reason why I feel as though that women have a bigger and tighter support system is because not too many men talk about their relationship unless it's somebody that they really have a bond with. A lot of men don't want to talk about their relationship with their mother. You usually hear a dude talking to his father or his uncle or OG. We don't even really want to have them relationship conversations with our friends because we don't want to put the wrong burden on each other. Because, you know, we be scared that if one of our mans tell us something that we might take offensively, we might take it offensively to the heart. But when the OGs tell us that, we don't take it offensively to the heart. But when it comes to women, you can call your homegirl. She gonna call your other homegirl. She gonna call your sister. She gonna call your cousin. Bitch, you getting out the house. They coming. They coming to get you. They coming to take you out to start saying how important you are. You should live. Man, it's mad niggas out here. It's mad niggas out here. And then you meet that dude. You meet that dude. But the same things that attracted you to your man usually what attracts you to that dude. Ladies, y'all know when y'all meet that nigga if he ain't for you or not. Y'all know that y'all be like, he ain't the one, but he might be cute. Well, he ain't the one, but he is respectful. He is respectful. He is nice. But he's not the one. He's not the one. When he's the one, ladies, you know he's the one. Just like when you're the one. We know that you're the one. Like, we be like, yo, shorty cute. She got a nice shape. Well, she do got a job. But she's not the one. When men love, they love, believe it or not, more unconditionally than any other species in the world. I'm going to say this again. When men love, I didn't say little boys. I said when men love, they love higher than a lot of people give credit for. And it seemed like some women love for the moment. Because I heard an old timer say this before. A lot of people said this before. I've heard a lot of people say this, men and women. I didn't want to be with them no more because they didn't make me happy. Let me put y'all on to some free game. If y'all ain't listening to nothing else I ever told you. Your spouse's responsibility is not to keep you happy. She said, rest in peace to Dollar Bill. My mother threatened his life. Rest in peace. Do y'all understand that? I'm going to say it to you one more time. Your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your baby mother is not responsible for your happiness. Tell him, Keish, you are responsible for your own happiness. A lot of people say, I'm with them because they make me happy. If you're not happy from within, you're never going to be with them. You're still going to be searching. I hear people that go through the same things they went through with the people from before because you know what? You know when you notice, when you know you're going through something? When you're having the same identical problems with somebody else that you had with the person you was with before you was with this person. That's when the problem is you. People just don't want to admit it. People just don't want to admit it. That's when the problem is you. For example, ladies, let me explain something to y'all. I had a young lady tell me one time that she wasn't going to stop hanging with her cousins, or she wasn't going to stop hanging with her friends just because she was with me. And I was arrogant back in the days. I was real fucking arrogant. So this is what I said to the young lady. I said, yo, I had a couple of bitches that I was around too that was trying to play with a nigga that I can lay with anytime I want to, but I stopped being around them because of you. Ladies, sometimes your man can see an enemy around you before you can. Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. Ladies, if your man loves you, if your man loves you, he can see danger around you that you will never ever fathom to see. Okay, let me tell you about when a nigga in love with you. So let me tell you about when a woman is in love with a man. When your woman is in love with you, she can tell you everything about the people that you call your friends. Okay, I'm gonna say this one more time. When your woman is in love with you, a lot of fellas don't want to hear this shit. When your woman is in love with you, if she tell you the nigga that you around is not your friend, Tanja, I see you, girl. I appreciate that super chat too. If she tells you that nigga that's around you ain't for you, it's the truth. Keith said, when your man tells you, I don't like your friends, listen. When your man tells you this, listen. Yo, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you, because somebody in here might have went through this with their man. Somebody might be going through this with their man. It might be somebody, it might be a dude in here that's going through this with his woman. So I'm not in nobody's relationship, but I can tell you some real deep shit. Ladies, when you with your man, you can't be at everybody's party. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. Somebody gonna get upset, but you know I'm always saying something to get under the skin. When you are somebody's woman, you can't be at every party. Okay, ladies, let me give you some real raw game. When you fucking with a nigga that fuck with you, you can't be at everybody's party. You can't be in everybody's face. You can't be in everybody's presence. People don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. El Plug, I see you in the building. Salute. People don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Ladies, when that nigga be like, yo, why this bitch always in your face? Why we always chilling and she popping up with some bullshit? Get away from her. Get away from her. Get away from her. Like I said, I was around a woman. Every time her cousin called, she had to go fight. Because her cousin decided to be fucking with men. And she used to say to me, yo, but that's my cousin. But if something happens to you as my woman, where does that leave me? Where does that leave me, y'all? East New York said, if you're dealing with a dude, and this is from being in the hood, you can't be up in everybody's face and everybody's party. That's a fact. But some women say, I was doing this before you. To all the men that have a woman that said, what I was doing before you, repeat after me. I was fucking women before you. And I stopped because me and you are one. So women, you have to really understand, if you are one with this dude that you are with, you got to hear him. You got to hear him. That's why I'm so serious about the situation about men's feelings not being took for granted. They took being taken for granted. Excuse me. There are a few women that still care if their man ate every day. There are a few women that still care if their man is okay mentally. And there are a few men that really genuinely love our women. If your man wants you in everybody party, your man is doing something else besides you. And to all you women, I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. To all y'all women that be wanting to have these girl trips, to all the niggas that allow you to do that is suckers. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. Okay, cool. Bing. Let me say it one more time. Cause maybe y'all don't hear me. I'm gonna say it one more time. For all them niggas that be allowing they women to go on them girl trips to the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica with 3 and 4 day homegirls, let me explain something to you what my gay cousin told me. Let me tell you what my gay cousin told me. Shout out to my cousin Sheila. She said, yo, Tommy, I see you in the building. She said, yo, anytime bitches tell me we going on a girls trip, I'm thinking about who I'm gonna be fucking out of them bitches. I asked what you say, Sheila? She said, if bitches think they gonna be around me all night, smoking weed, getting high, getting drunk, and I'm getting freaky and they don't think I'm gonna get some pussy, they thinking wrong. So I ain't one of them niggas with them girls trips. You gotta have some sisters. You gotta have some family. I ain't with all that girl trip shit. Especially for married couples. You see what these things, they ain't for no married people. Now check this out, ladies. I'm gonna be real because I give game to everybody. If you got a man that wants to go on a mancation with his mans, I'm not talking about fishing. Because some niggas like to go fishing. I used to do that with my uncles. That's something I miss. Yo, dog, I know it's you. I used to go fishing with my uncles, man. Straight up fishing off the pier. Little radio, playing some light music. Don't give a fuck if we don't catch with 20 fish. The memories people can't take away from me. But when your man say he's going to the Dominican Republic with his mans, they going to get some pussy. Or they fucking each other. Respectfully. I'm gonna say this one more time. If your mans and them talking about he going with his mans and them to Dominican Republic, to Jamaica, to Brazil, to any of them company, they fucking each other. And hunting. That's a fact too, dog. That's a fact too. Shout out to my cousin Buki and them down here, because them niggas stay in the woods. Them niggas live in the woods. But you don't hear nothing about a bunch of niggas saying, yo, let's go to some tropical island, just us as dudes. Them niggas going out there to get some box or they fucking each other. That's a fact. Simba 050/BDB. I see you in the building. What up, sis? What up, sis? It's just not normal behavior. It's not normal behavior. Now, first of all, if you're dealing with a man, hear me out, ladies. If you're dealing with a man and he fuck with you, he got a bunch of men friends. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's either going to be one or two situations with your man friend. Either he's in a relationship with somebody, either he's married, or he been through some bullshit and they just part of our support team. And then hopefully one of our peoples can find him somebody like one of our women. See, that's when you go out together like adults. Yo, I'm going out with you. You bringing your baby. You bringing your baby. Oh, your homegirl, Deborah. Let's see if her and motherfucking Ken can rock. Let's pull together and go bowling or something like that and see if they can get some chemistry. Because a lot of men been through some real shit too, y'all. I'm telling you from experience. Niggas cry too. Niggas have been heartbroken too. And they just started making mental awareness months for men when it comes to depression. You know what I'm saying? We've been suffering from depression. I've been suffering from loss of friends and family member way before my mother left here. Way before first of all, while I was growing up, you don't have a chance to heal when it comes to death. This one got killed. This one got killed. Oh, this one passed away. Oh, this one got sick. Oh, this one had this. This one had diabetes. Oh, this one had this. Oh, this one got killed. Yo, he got killed. Yo, she got killed. Well, she died in her sleep. Yo, that's really my fucking life. And like he said, when you really fucking with, I got into an argument with one of my cousins because of this shit. Like she said, when you really friends with somebody, your family, you respect their relationship. Number one, I'm telling my mans this right now who don't know it, even though my niggas know this shit. Don't call me to lie for you. Do not call me to lie for you. And number one, I don't trust no nigga that'll lie for me to my woman. That's a fact. Ladies, that bitch that'll lie to your man for you will fuck your man. That bitch that'll lie to your man and be like, yo, she was with me. 3 weeks later, when her go through an argument, she be telling your man that bitch been cheating on you all that time. I've been love you. I've been telling you. I've been wanting to fuck with you. I've been told that bitch you need to stop treating you. You need a bitch like me. That's why I just said it, Miss Tanja. That's why I just said it, Miss Tanja. I'm not lying. First of all, and you want to hear some funny shit? I feel so bad for the times I've done that when I was younger. Yo, son, tell my baby moms I was at your crib. All right, cool. Yo, he was over there? Yeah, he was over there. Dice, I know you lying. I ain't lying. Now that nigga was drunk. He was in my living room sleep. I heard the nigga phone ringing, but I didn't want to pick that shit up. I feel so bad for the times I did that shit. I feel so bad for the times I did that shit because, see, my loyalty to my man sometimes superseded my loyalty to the women that was in my life. That's why everything I've been through, I accept from God. That's a cold-blooded fact. We misconstrue our loyalty because it seemed like when we was growing up, the only people we told we had was each other. Am I my brother's keeper? For what I want for me, I want for my brother. It's different, y'all. Pay attention to your man sometime, y'all. Everybody, that unconditional word, people don't really dig that shit. They don't know what that means. Unconditional, that's a very, very strong word. That's a very, very powerful word, and it's dying out. It's dying out. Unconditional. When we choose women, we choose y'all no matter what we go through. You see how the nigga said in the 5 Heartbeats, I fight every night to prove my love. The nigga knew he had a beautiful woman. He knew she was attractive. He knew, quote unquote, sometimes dudes used to just pull her feather. But the nigga said I fight every night to prove my love. He ain't never said he was gonna break up with her. The nigga said every night I got to fight to prove my motherfucking love. Because that's unconditional. That's unconditional love. Dog said I had a homie one time. I had to check one time. He said I had a homie one time. I had to check one time. Like, bro, you know your wife. I eat her food. You can't bring no jump offs to my house. Don't put me in that position. Yeah, that's a fucked up position. That's a fucked up position. Because if you love your man, you're supposed to love his wife as your sister. You don't want your sister to come say, yo, check this out. Tell your boy I was at your girl crib. Tell her I was with your girl. Tell her what the fuck that shit is moron shit. Keith said that too. Straighten his crown when you see it tilt and let him know that you see him. Like I said, it seems like men's feelings are never talked about until, unfortunately, some men snap. Oh shit, he hit her. Oh shit, he unalived her. Oh, he crazy. Yo, do you know a lot of the women, a lot of y'all chose motherfuckers that was crazy to be with? I don't think really a lot of women pay attention to the men that y'all choose. Yeah, he's loving to you, he's loving to the kids and all that, but the nigga's an animal in the street. Shout out to East New York. I didn't even know this. Dollar Bill from Albany, that's her baby father, rest in peace. That's Devon in them niggas. That's JC. That's House in them niggas. That's a different era. That's a different fucking era. Certain shit you don't do. Certain shit you just really don't do. When y'all choose these men, you are dealing. That's a fact, Keish. That's a cold-blooded fact. Me and this motherfucker. That's a fact. Me and her beefing. That's Dollar Bill baby fucking mother. Rest in peace to Ken Divine. Everybody know who that is. JC House and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Phil before he went to the fucking feds. That's the official OGs of Albany Projects. Shout out to the new OGs, the Shells, you know what I'm saying? The B-boys and all that, the Scats and all that. When you dealing with a certain individual, ladies. He might say to you, man, fuck that bullshit. I don't give a fuck you talking about. That all translates to something you did hurt him. He's a little bit paranoid right now. He ain't really good with communication. And all he knows is aggressive and to be on defense. Braun said, and then some women say they be happily married, and you see them be playing those games in the club. See, yo, you know what? Yo, Flat Bronze Guard, you just said some deep shit. Pay attention. I just said this earlier. What nigga gonna have his girl in the club, my nigga? Pay attention. What dude is gonna really have his chick up? Yo, you know what my cousin told me? My mother used to tell me some Jews that just stuck in my head. My mother said a woman will test you to see what she means to you. Don't let that go over your head, fellas. A woman will test you to see exactly what she means to you. East New York said, Dice, my right-handed guard, you couldn't even look at me. No guy couldn't even look at me without him going crazy. If you knew him, you know. I told you that yesterday. I said the nigga's crazy. So I said, shout out to your daughter. She got that gene in him too. And you know, you're about 2 cans short of a 6-pack too. So you know what? Yeah, all y'all crazy. But I bet you he understood that when he got with you. Rest in peace. And you got to understand the era that he is from. That's a dangerous era, man. That era them niggas is from, wow. Especially when it comes to your woman. Once a nigga see you as weak, once he feels as though that he can disrespect you or your woman, and you don't do nothing about it, that's a bad, bad situation right there. That's why you're gonna have to understand something. You know, some niggas, I grew out of that. That used to be something with me. I like to be like appreciated for who I am. That's one thing I will always say. I love to be appreciated for who I am. But some dudes, they go through times in their life where their egos have to be stroked because their intellect and their security within themselves was been broken by their mother. There's a lot of niggas in jail that's mad with their mother. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes in jail that are angry with their mother. They don't know anything other but you ain't shit. I'm so glad I didn't go through this. Like, you ain't shit. You just like your father. Matter of fact, go to your father's house. I don't even want you around me. I got friends and family members that went through that shit. I got cousins and stuff used to be at my crib. And I'm telling you, y'all, that shit was very impactful. My mom's was beefing. She don't even want me at the crib this type of weekend. That's weird ass shit for a child to be saying. You dig? Tanya said, Lady K, sometimes we need to listen more and talk less. My grandmother said you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. But yo, you know what? I have to speak up for everybody. Everybody's not in position to lead. Everybody's not in position to lead. Women, some dudes are not in position to lead. You have to, a lot of women, your responsibilities are so impactful on this world because it's your responsibility sometimes to build a king. It's in them, but he just don't see it. Products of their environment. Like the situation with Cardi B, situation with her husband Offset. You know why them 2 people got together and had them beautiful children, but never was in love with each other? Because they both came from nothing. So they know what it is to be fighting each other. They know what it is. Oh, you get mad at me, I'm gonna fuck a chick. Oh, she get mad at you, she gonna fuck a nigga back. Oh, you get mad at me, she gonna fuck a chick. First of all, she was just fucking a nigga the last time she was pregnant. Remember? Remember? She was just fucking a nigga the last time she was pregnant when they was going through something because she found out that he was cheating on her again. They both come from a bunch of toxicity, man. And they both got a bunch of money and they both was put in this industry to promote sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? All that rock star shit, that rock dressing, that demasculation of a lot of us men, quote unquote, niggas is wearing tight jeans, walking around with rainbows and stars and hooked earrings and all that goofy. We ain't come up with that shit. We ain't come up with that shit, y'all. Our women are coming out to be more masculine than us. That shit is weird where I come from. I came up when it was bull daggers. They wasn't called lesbians. Shout out to all my official bull daggers. I ain't talking about they don't call themselves lesbians. I said bull daggers. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Them people got a bunch of money and nobody couldn't tell them nothing because they said they was grown. And they was living that rock star life. They was getting money. They was getting drunk. They was popping pills, allegedly, doing drugs, fucking, unprotected sex. Beautiful children created. But parents that don't love each other. Take that money from them and see how much they care about each other. You know what? Like they say back in the days, they said, get on an island with a motherfucker for 30 days. How many people can go on an island for 30 days with the person that they love? You get all the food you want, whatever you want to eat for 30 days. You can say White Castles every motherfucking day, steak, lobster, anything you motherfucking want for 30 days. No communication, though. You can't call nobody on a cell phone. They can't call you on a cell phone. Can't call your cousin. You can't call your kids. Can't call your mom. You can't call your brother. Both sides. Y'all can't do nothing but coexist with each other for 30 days. By yourself. That's when you know if you can fuck with somebody. That's when you know. It's just like Tanya said. That's true. But some women love to overtalk a man. So you got to pay attention to what's going on sometimes pertaining to social media. Pay attention to what's going on social media. Instead of some men Bagel Lips, I appreciate you for pulling up. Never heard that name before. That's creative, but I appreciate you. Salute, long as you know, we don't do no trolling. Grown folks conversation over here. Salute. Like I said, it's all right. Let's get back to what we was talking about earlier. My man Flat Guard said, women be in them clubs playing games. They be married. But like I told you, nowadays it seems like a lot of marriages are beneficial. Do you love the person genuinely, or do you love them for what you know you're about to accomplish? East New York, I appreciate you. She said great content. Thank you for that dime. I'm gonna start calling it that Kingston and Bergen. Shout out to everybody for the dimes and better putting that Kingston and Bergen on the building. You got a woman that's married. You got a woman that's married. You're 100% right. You're 100% East New York. You got a woman that's married. That something went wrong between. Oh, I ain't know that. All right, watch it all. You got the gun. Something goes wrong between a woman and her man. She says she's going out. He says, I don't care. The woman tells her man. Her man tells him, yo, I'm going out. She says, I don't care. So when that man is in that club every weekend or that woman is in that club every weekend, do y'all really think what's going on? All right, I'm going to tell you from a man's point of view. If you have a woman and she's comfortable with you being in a club every weekend without her, I don't think that's genuine. Women, if your man is cool with you being in clubs every weekend, there's something else he's interested in. He's going to use the fact that he knows that you're in a club so he won't have to worry about bumping into you when he's with who he really fucking with. That's a cold little fact. Like he said, nowadays, is it a business arrangement or true love? He got a good job. Okay? He's saying, well, she got a good job. Because down here in the South, boy, you'd be surprised. They'll say, she got a good job. She got a couple of kids, but you know what? She got a good job. Y'all can't hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I'm going to come back in. Okay, cool. Like I said, down here in the South, see, sometimes you hear, well, he can take care of me. Cool. Down here in the South, y'all, let me tell y'all something. It's dudes down here looking for fat chicks. Cold-blooded fact. Thank y'all. It's dudes down here looking for fat chicks. It's dudes down here looking for women that got 4 and 5 kids, like 3 baby fathers. It's dudes down here that's looking for women that have insecurities within themselves to manipulate them like they're in love with them. You see them at Myrtle Beach and shit like that when I was doing security. You see a nigga that think he fly. He got his Oakley shades on. He got his flip-flops and his crops, and he with a chick that's about 5'30". That's a fact. And she got about 14 pick-me them running around. But he ain't worried about none of that because you know what? He knows she got that bag. Matter of fact, matter of fact, dog, you know how to do that? You know how to put it on subscriber mode? I forgot how to do this shit on. Hold on, I know how to do that. But yeah, that's what's happening down here. That's what's happening down here in the South. Dog, so that's a different type of predator right there, son. A different type of predator right there, my youth. These niggas is different. These niggas is different. But like I said, that still got something to do with a man's feeling. Angie said, I think I can hold up. I know that's right. It's not the weight. It's what they search for. Liddy, they think quote unquote because a chick may have some size to her, a chick may have 5 kids or went through some bad relationships with men. They make it seem like nobody's gonna love these women. Nobody gonna genuinely love these kids. And unfortunately, a lot of these women down here fell into the fact of depression and settled for this bullshit. Okay, y'all put it on sub mode. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That's a fact. Angie, you got the big guns. You and dogging them guys. What the fuck? What the fuck? Appreciate y'all. We don't need no craziness, no trolls over here. But like I said, when it comes to women, when it comes to men's feelings, how come it seems like it's not listening to until they say he go crazy? Oh, he locked up. Oh, he done put his hands on, he tried to kill her. But what happened before all that? So you mean to tell me y'all was together for about 4 or 5 years and then one day he just snapped out and tried to kill you? What happened in them 4 or 5 years before that incident that finally made that man erupt? How many times did he cry out? Like I said, we don't pay attention. Yo, James, salute. God damn it, James. God damn, I'm glad you came up in here, James. Yo, shout out to James, y'all. This dude right here cursed me the fuck out the other night. No, he didn't, y'all. I'm bullshit. Shout out to James, man. He over there with Dog Soldier and them, AD and them, and Phoenix and them. Aim said, God damn it, Dice, and your goddamn friend. Yo, I laughed so motherfucking hard that night, yo. Shout out to James. Nah, my dude. I hope you seen the show earlier with Dog and Net Stars. You know, I'm for the peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on gargoyle mode no more. I'm not even on gargoyle mode. Like I said, niggas be talking about a goon. We was on gargoyle mode. Like, a goon ain't got nothing on a goblin, man. And a goblin scared to death of a gargoyle. Don't let that go over your head. A goon don't have nothing on a goblin. But a goblin is terrified of a gargoyle. Think about that. A goblin scared to death of a gargoyle. Because a gargoyle moves prestigious. A gargoyle moves when it's time to move. A goon and a goblin, they impulsive. They playing checkers, man. A gargoyle, we playing chess, man. It's not the strongest opponent, it's the strongest mind. That's a cold-blooded fact. It's not the strongest component, it's the strongest mind. That's the most intelligent, that's the most powerful component on your body, your mind, man. That's why when I see certain people that have went at each other on YouTube, I hear people say, yo, he's talking to a woman, or she shouldn't be talking to a man like that, or yo, he shouldn't be talking to a woman. No, 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 no. I disagree with all that. I feel as though people shouldn't be talking to each other like that. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be talking to her like that because she's a woman. Because if you're in an arena of blatant disrespect, this goes to any of the women that try to participate in certain sectors. If you're in a gargoyle area like that, you're gonna have to be a gargoyle goblin. You're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to be. And then some of these dudes over here, they yo, I'm just gonna let it be known. They might get upset. It's a lot of niggas in these chats, ladies, that be speaking to y'all that hate y'all because they know they would never ever be able to deal with y'all in real life. They would never be friends with you in real life. The only way that y'all would acknowledge them is because of mutual respect and avatars and chats. See, that's another thing people be getting upset with. They know, they can tell who certain people is. That's a fact. They can tell who certain people is. But men's feelings should be acknowledged. It shouldn't have to be, well, he snapped out, or he killed himself, or he killed his whole family and then killed himself. Yo, I've been hearing more and more about homicides, suicides the last year. It's ridiculous down here in the South, y'all. Google it. North Carolina, South Carolina. It's been 3 different police officers, two state troopers, and a sheriff. The sheriff is in South Carolina. The state troopers are in North Carolina. These people have killed their wife and then themselves. And then one has killed the children, his wife, and then himself. So I think for myself, said the brain is so powerful, it's the only organ that named itself powerful. That's a fact. Yeah, it's real. Like I said, if I think if people start talking to each other instead of at each other, especially when it comes to men and women, because shout out to all the women. You dig what I'm saying? I think that your most powerful weapon is silence. My opinion. I think a woman's silence is the most powerful thing that she possesses. I believe that if you can control your tongue and you can control certain feelings or emotions that may run through your mind and don't spew it out, that's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous because when we see a woman beginning to curse continuously, just curse, 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 curse. It comes across as very vulgar and unpleasing. I curse. Don't get it twisted. I curse. When I'm upset, I curse. But if you pay attention, you can go back and check my lives. I'm very, very mindful of how I speak because my mother used to always give me dictionaries and she always told me anyone can curse. She said anyone can curse, but it takes a stronger minded person to articulate the way themselves feel. So me, I've always tried to, like, people say, "Your Dice, you talk like you white." So I'll be like, all right, cool. I've never heard how somebody speaks that would make you think that they are a certain color. But people have said, yo, I thought I spoke to people in jail like, I'm sorry, I heard your name. I thought you were white. No, I'm not white. Because there's some black people that pride ourselves on intelligence. It's sad as a whole, we don't move like that because of everything that everybody we know in history went through. I ain't never been one of them, but for some of the things that happened, like the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, you know what I'm saying? Like closest to our era that we can, like, it's a bunch of them, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about that whole Malcolm X and Martin Luther King shit, that whole aspect where you see where that turned to, just because of people wanting peace and solidarity. And then we get all these opportunities They didn't have the freedom to just turn on an internet or a computer because it wasn't no internet on a computer. Just imagine if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was alive Just imagine that. Just imagine if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was alive now, and they got to broadcast on their podcast how they feel about everything that was going on in their mind. That should be different, y'all. That should be different. Instead of people just coming on their podcast, it's like solicitation. It's like to me, it's like trying to beat the people. That's why I say I've always appreciated everybody with your super chats, your memberships, your super chats, your cash apps. I've always, but that's never. I mean, everything is help. I appreciate everything, but it seems like some people, it's like when they get to a certain level of revenue or monetization, it turns into a hustle. I know a hustle when I see a hustle, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? To everybody that's a member of me, number one, I ain't here to hustle y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Like I hear certain people. I mean, the way that super chats and cash apps are being utilized on social media is sickening. So, if you want to voice your opinion, all right, you cash app me $200. All right, if you don't want this person to come on my platform and voice their opinion solely about you, you got to send me $200 also. All right, so we're not trying to get to the resolution or nothing, but since we know everybody is watching that y'all don't like each other, I'm gonna have both of y'all up here to disrespect each other. That's selling your soul, man. That's selling your fucking soul. People, it's so many ways I've sold my soul. You know, I'm not innocent. I sold my soul every time I sold a drug. Every time I sold a drug. Every time I could did something, some type of criminal activity, I sold my soul. So this shit on YouTube, I'm like, damn, I used to say, well, maybe what I did was different, or maybe what other people have done before me was maybe more different. It's all equal when it comes to selling your soul. For real. Yo, Post, I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. It's all selling your soul. On YouTube, if you just telling people on the whole set, Pain is in the building. If you just come in here saying, yo, check this out. Make sure y'all give me cash apps. And y'all see my cash app anyway. But make sure you give me cash apps. You know, if you don't like him, just send me some money. I'll get it popping. No, I'm never gonna sell my soul like that, man. I'm never gonna sell my soul like that, man. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. If people come on my platform, deaf to all pedophiles, if people come on my platform and they genuinely have a problem and be like, yo, Dice, check this out. The situation with you and Dog and Net, I appreciate how you held that down. I want to talk to somebody. Maybe we can get something cleared up. If it's not sincere and it's not genuine, I never fuck with a person again. This goes for anybody on YouTube, whether me and you see eye to eye with somebody and you feel as though you've been unwronged or whatever by somebody, come up here and let's do it for righteousness. Fuck whether who right or wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you can come together and be like, you know what? Maybe we can just get away from this shit and just stop focusing on each other and get on some content because it's too many intelligent people on this app. And it's like people wasting time. Like it's so much time being fucking wasted. I've been on YouTube 3 years. I know people that's been on here 12, 15 years, 17 years, 8 years, 9 years. What you looking for? If you haven't developed a group of people that's going to support you within 3 years, within 1 year, honestly, let's be real. If you ain't got somebody that's holding you down or really wanting to see what you got and thankful of your content in the first year, what are you here for? What are you here for? But if I can be a part of two people resolving an issue, oh yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that to the end. Like, you ain't even got to say it twice. I'm with that. That's a cold-blooded fact. And shout out to Latin Pain. That's a fact, y'all. Certain shit we ain't gonna ignore over here. You dig what I'm saying? But we not, yo, let me tell you some shit, Pain. I'm gonna tell you something somebody told me. I'm gonna hit you and tell you what somebody told me. Person in the chat told me this shit too. And they're a therapist by profession. That's on everything that's on the whole set. The person that everybody is focused on now because of his allegations pertaining to his women and his children. I was told by a therapist, a licensed therapist, that this person is getting off on the attention that they are getting from this media. Like they trying to make it seem like they're so upset and they're so disappointed and they're so distraught about everything, but it's all an act. It's all an act. Narcissism. Exactly. Some people live for this shit, bruh. Some people live for that shit, bruh. But on YouTube, you got to understand, everybody's not thinking the same. Everybody was not raised the same. Some people went through things that people didn't believe. Some people go through things now that they're part of. Look at the young lady that just, think about it, the young baby girl that was just found in Penn Station in New York. They just found the little baby, but you know, all that technology and all that computer went back to, they said it's an elderly lady that dropped off this baby. You dig what I'm saying? You know why? Because this is the first thing I said when I heard about it. Ask Key, she right here. First thing I said, you know why babies and stuff be getting dropped off like that? Because of all that motherfucking bullshit that be going on in people's houses that they be trying to cover the fuck up. That they be trying to cover the fuck up. Because if she's what if she's 11 or 12 and she has a child, the whole family gonna want to know, where'd that baby come from? Where'd that baby come from? So what they do, they try to get rid of things. Well, if I drop it off in a public place, somebody get the baby and they'll be taken care of. Yeah, that's a cold-blooded fact. You put it in a place that's totally watched by millions and millions of people due to technology. But you forgot that shit was going to follow back to you. There's some wicked people in this world, y'all. There's some niggas that get off fucking with, yo, it's some wicked people in this world, man. You dig? And that shit is in every nationality. That's in every nationality. It's fucked up. It's in every nationality. But I don't give it no light. I ain't even thinking about it. I'm not even gonna let that run through my mind anymore. For real. It's just not cool. And I will say this on that person's behalf. Just like with these little children. Everybody put their prayers up for Amari. Just like these little children, 8 years old, 9 years old, and 10 years old, that are arrested right now. But the 10-year-old, the oldest one that's a girl, is arrested right now for attempted murder, sexual misconduct, and kidnapping. You got an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old that's under investigation for assaulting a 5-year-old little girl. And I'm staying in tune with that. The minute I hear the upbringing on that, the minute I hear anything regarding to that, I might do by tomorrow, because I've heard some things, but I'm not sure, because they're throwing out a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, fish bait pertaining to this. Because it's like they're trying to throw this off like this is a fucking joke, y'all. We got a 5-year-old little girl that was sexually assaulted by an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old. They shoved a ruler down her throat. They shoved a ruler in her vagina. They shaved her head off of her head. Nah, that was taught to them. 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 Them babies need to be taken away from their parents and be given extensive psychological help and counseling. And I think their parents need to be charged with them heinous crimes. That's a fact. Fact, Tanya. I'm still on it. I'm still on it, Tanya. Because like I said, I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong thing, because emotionally I'm attached to that story. Just like I was attached to the Kanika Jenkins story. That rest in peace to that young girl. I vowed to get to the bottom of that story, and I broke that news first. Now they talking about, yeah, just like I said, the cousin and the security guard. The young woman was drunk. Yeah, she was trying to get out. She was trying to get downstairs because she was familiar with the hotel. They partied there all the time. The security guard and his cousin, they used to always be back there smoking weed, found out that he tried to sexually assault her. She tried to fight back. He slammed that young lady on her face. City Boy Floyd, I see you in the building. That cousin got caught up in some shit, Chicago, and he said, I am going to cooperate with this unsolved murder. That's another thing he said. How come nobody knew she left that young girl with her so-called friends and they never reported her missing? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Certain shit just don't add up to me, y'all. Certain shit just don't add up to me. Well, everybody that pulled up in the building tonight, I appreciate y'all sincerely, cold-hearted, for coming out, rocking with some content. Y'all know I'm going live tomorrow. I'm going to go live in the morning and go live tomorrow night, because I'm going to stay on top of this situation with Diddy. I want to know if Trump is going to go against the masses. Tomorrow, Diddy supposed to be let go. I say let him go. Give him some help. Let him go talk to a psychiatrist for a little while. Give him some drug counseling. Cardi B sounds like she's the side chick again. She said the same thing that she accused Offset of. Now she's going through with Stephen Diggs. They keep picking the same person, y'all. Like if you pay attention to this picture right here, you see his picture. He's comfortable in his setting. If you pay attention to her, she has an evening gown on, has her hair done. Everything about that appearance to me is fake, because that's not who she is and that's not where she's from. I'm going to stay on top of that, y'all. I appreciate everybody that pulled up in attendance. Y'all already know how I feel. It's Team Guardian forever. Another day alive. Y'all know the rest. Peace.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars.
Everything exists has to coexist with it. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?